Hello my lovely people, and welcome back again to my channel. Here on this channel, we discuss a range of different topics in agriculture and agribusiness. We also look at practical aspects of farming. If you have been a follower of this channel, we also take you to the farm to see what's happening in the farm, and also we discuss some other aspects of agriculture, business, the money part, the ups and downs of farming, and how to and what to do. So in today's video, I'll be discussing something that is very critical, and I'll be discussing with you some of the worst mistakes that I've seen farmers make. Some worst mistakes I've seen farmers make that I feel I should do a video and also talk about it. And I know one or two people will learn from it and also apply it and avoid these mistakes. I'll be discussing 4 of the worst mistakes I've seen farmers make, and you should not make the same mistake. You should take know about it and avoid making such mistakes. Number 1 of the mistakes is no farm record. I'll be straight to the point in this video. I think I'll do this video in less than 5 minutes and we are done. It's going to be a straightforward video. Number 1 of the mistakes is no farm record. How can you be running a business and you don't have a farm record? You don't have a record. Unless you are doing the farm for fun. If it's a business, there must be a record. How can you run a business without knowing your inventory, without knowing your cash flow? You don't have a financial book, you don't have the record book that shows what comes into your farm and what goes out of your farm. You don't know. You cannot run a business like that. Number 1 of the things you need to do and you must pay attention to is farm record. Farm record is very important. And I've seen farmers that I will ask, okay, you are trying to trace a problem or you want to find a solution. I'll ask them, what do you use in this particular field or in this particular side of the farm? What did you feed your bird with? What did you give your plants? And they'll be like, last 2 weeks I did NPK. It's like 2 weeks ago I treated, I gave them some drugs. You don't know what you did in your farm in just 2 weeks. So you don't even know how much the drugs you bought cost. You don't even know what your workers per se are doing in your farm because there is no record to show what they did. You can't run a farm business like that. If it's actually a business to you, there must be a record of what comes into your farm and what goes out of your farm. So if you have challenges, you can easily trace where the problem is coming from. I did a video about how to run a sustainable farm business. It's in the channel. Just after this video, go back to that video and watch it till the end and you will understand. In that video, I demystified every step of how you can run a sustainable farm business. So you can watch that video after this one. So number 1 of the mistakes I see farmers make is not having a farm record. You cannot trace your finances. You cannot trace what happened in your farm. You cannot even trace what you sold or not. You can't run a farm business like that. Any farm business or any business that you are doing and there is no record of how much you bought your goods and how much you're selling, that business is close to failing. I'm not wishing you bad, but it is the truth. That's number 1. Number 2 of the mistakes I've seen farmers make is leaving your sales to others. Leaving your sales to other people to do for you. Yes, I know you are the CEO of your farm. You are the chief operating officer or chief executive officer or everything the head of your farm. You are the owner of the farm, I know. But one of the mistakes I've seen farmers make is leaving their sales for other people to do. Now, I wonder why somebody will spend 100 million, 50 million, 10 million to set up a farm. Farmers are not lazy. No. We farmers are intentional people. We are strong people. We are open-minded and we are hard-working people. So farmers are not lazy. Don't get me wrong. We are not lazy people. But I always wonder, why would somebody spend 10 million, 5 million, 15 million to set up a farm, work hard, go to the farm every morning, nurture your plants or even raise your bed and they start laying egg, or your plants grow and they have fruits, and you've done all this work for all this while without getting tired, and when it's time to start selling those farm produce, you now relegate your sales to maybe somebody else to come and do it for you. Why would you do that? You don't have to do it. Do not. I've seen people make that mistake. Don't relegate your sales. In fact, you should be the chief sales officer of your business, because you're not Dangote and you're not Adenuga. We are farmers. We are growing our business. Unless you have money somewhere that you are using, no problem. But if you're a farmer that is intentional about growing your business, then you should think of being the chief sales officer, the CSO of your business. Do not relegate your your sales to somebody. Be active. They only call you when CEO, we need to buy feed for the bird, you send money. We need to buy planting materials, you send money. You need to do this one, you send money. They only call you when it's time for expenses. When it's time that you start selling those farm produce, you don't know how much they're selling, you don't know what they are selling, you don't even know what is going out of your farm. It is wrong. I've seen people make that mistake. I, for one, have been there. So do not relegate your sales to somebody. Another thing again, I've seen farmers make that mistake, and how you can mitigate and reduce it is farmers that allow middlemen eat into your profit. That's why you are relegating your sales to somebody else. You leave your sales for middlemen. After working throughout this period and you finish your harvesting or you're started selling your egg, you now leave your sales for middlemen. They'll come to your farm, price you cheap, take it and go and sell to the end users. If you can devise a means to bridge the gap between the middleman and the end user, then let me give you a scenario. A crate of egg that the end user gets. The end user gets a crate of egg for around 5,500. Some get for 5,000, depending on your location. If you're in Nigeria, the end user. But the farm gate price is around 4,000 naira. Some 3,500 farm gate price. Now, if you can bridge the gap between that middleman that comes to your farm gate to buy for 3,500 and sell to the end user at 5,000, that is making extra 1,500 per crate of egg. If you can break that gap between the middleman and send directly to the end user, you will see that you're adding extra 1,500 to your initial profit. What are you trying to do? You are increasing your profit margin by 1,500. That is a whole lot. So you see, relegating that sales to a particular set of people is wrong. Now, I think in the next video, I'll try to do a video and show you how you can actually add extra $1,000 to your previous sales if you do some certain things in your sales. I will do that video. I will show you how you can add extra 1,000. If you're making 1,000 before, I'll show you how you can make extra 1,000 by not doing something new, by just adjusting some things in your sales. So if you can be able to bridge the gap between that retailer, that middleman, and supply to the end users, you can see that you add extra 1,500 to your initial price, which means you are increasing your revenue, increasing your profit. So do not relegate. You're running your business down. You don't relegate sales to somebody. Okay, that is number 2 mistake. And number 3 mistake I've seen farmers make is starting too big, or starting big and trying to grow too fast. Starting big and trying to grow too fast. Now, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with starting big, starting on a large scale, starting with 1 hectare of land, which is about 2 acres, 3 acres for planting, or starting 5,000 layers to start your poultry farm. There is nothing wrong with actually starting big. But let me tell you something. It is a mistake that I've seen farmers make. Starting big and now trying to grow too fast is a challenge, especially for people that are newcomers, or they just use the word newbies in the business, because you heard pepper is bringing so much money. I did a video that you can make 900,000 every month selling just pepper. And you ran rush chain, you borrowed 5 million and you bought land, started planting pepper. You want to start with 5,000 stands of pepper or 10,000 of pepper so that you can hit it hard. No, you are going on towards the wrong direction. How do you start farm business? You start small with the intention of growing big. I also talk about this particular topic in how to run a sustainable farm business. You can also check it up in that video. I will try to put that video, the link, in this video's description, so you can also, after watching this one, you can just click and watch it. Start small with the intention of growing big. Now, I said something before. There is nothing wrong with starting big, but where the problem is the management. You are just starting off a new business. You can't start poultry farm. It's your first time starting, and you want to start with 10,000. You are making a mistake. You're making a mistake. Now, if you have the money to start a poultry farm, maybe layers to lay egg, to start selling egg, you have the money to start with 10,000. I would advise you start with 1,000 or start with 2,000. I would advise you start with 2,000. Now, there is a difference between people that grew in the business over time and someone that just entered and want to hit it hard. No, there is a big difference. You cannot remove or erase the importance of experience when it comes to farming. Even if you are the CEO, you are the founder, or you have the money and you employ people, you have a farm manager, you have an agronomist, you have all the qualification you can get to employ people that will do the farming for you while you are just there observing and now spending and recovering your money. Even if that is the case, you have to learn to start small with the intention of growing big. Don't start with 10,000 layers. Start with 2,000, start with 1,000. The experience, the skill that you pass through. I said something before, even if you're not the one that will handle the farm, that you're only bringing the money. If you have challenges in your farm and you're losing money, it is your money that you're losing, not the employee's money. It is your money as the employer. So why not start small and grow with that? So you as the owner of the farm will also know when something like this happens, this is what I should do. These are challenges that comes with farming that I will also avoid. So I've seen people make that mistake. Oh, I want to hit it hard. I want to make 100 million in 1 year. I want to hit it hard to make job. No. Start small, but have that intention that you're growing big. If you want to go into crop farming, maybe you want to go into pepper, you want to go into tomato, you want to go into pumpkin or any crop at all. You have the opportunity, instead of, you have the money to do 50 acres. Now, this, don't get me wrong, I want to correct an impression. For crops, it depends on the type of crop you are farming. Now, somebody will tell me, oh, what I want to do is oil palm. So we say, what I want to do is cocoa farm. Now, it is not different. The only difference is for oil palm. For instance, for oil palm, you want to start up an oil palm business and you want to own the farm, want to start planting. You might most likely not need to start with 500. So the least you can start with for commercial purpose is around 2,000 to 3,000 stands of oil palm. So that is more understandable because you need to grow more so that when you start processing, the oil will, at least you have some volume. But that does not mean that you have money to get 500 acres and you now plant 100,000 oil palm. No. So that means the initiative or the idea of starting small with the intention of growing is still there. So even for oil palm, you can still do it like that. Start with 2,000, start with 3,000 and grow your business. The more those ones are growing, the more you're planting in other locations. Same with cocoa. I'm talking about 3 crops now. So for vegetables as well, you can decide to, okay, I have the money to run 5 acres. Start with 1 acre with the intention that you can grow with time. I've seen people make that mistake, and I will not say what happened to them, whether they failed. I've seen people make that mistake. If I call it a mistake, that means they failed. So do not fall into that trap of your mental construct that it is farming. If I plant it must do well. No. It's not layers. If I stop them, they must lay egg. No. There are challenges in farming, and I've seen people make those mistakes. Start small with the intention of growing big. Okay, and number 4, the last but not the least, is copying others. Copying others is a mistake that I've seen people make, and it costs them a lot. Now, let me still correct an impression. There's nothing wrong with copying. In fact, anything we are doing in this world, we learned from somewhere. We copied from somebody. We saw somebody doing it, and we begin to do it. We learn from them, so we copied. So, what is now wrong with copying from others that I say is a mistake? Oh, I want to start my own pepper farm. I did that example before. I want to start my own pepper farm. Mr. A started with 10,000. So me, I'm starting with 10,000. You are not Mr. A. You don't know the financial backup that Mr. A has. You don't know if you have insurance somewhere that even if the farm fails, you will cover up. You don't know if He has maybe somewhere money stopped or somewhere that he will use to fund his lifestyle until he start harvesting. And you that is a beginner that have only 10 million to run a farm for 1 year, you now go and start 10,000 stands of pepper, and you now get stocked after 2-3 months of working. You can no longer pay your workers, you cannot buy materials, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. It becomes a problem. Now you start struggling. That is the mistake I talked about in copying. Copy, learn, and take it, apply it to yourself and your personality now. Do not say because Mr. A started with 1,000 layers, me, I will start with 1,000 layers. You are not Mr. A. You don't know the financial muscle. You don't know how Mr. A have built his mind or his emotions towards business. If that 1,000 layer fail and did not produce, and Mr. A loses his money, he might have the financial backup or also have that strong mindset to withstand it and start. And you have just small funds to run your farm, and you want to go and start like Mr. A because you see that he started with 1,000. I want almost like 1,000. Look inward. That's why I always ask my clients whenever I have clients call to ask questions on set up a farm. The first thing I ask is, what is your capacity? That's the first question I ask. What is your capacity? I don't want to judge you with what other people are doing. I know if you do 5,000 stands of pepper, you will make so much money. I know. But what is your own capacity? Even if you do 1,000, based on your input, you will still make so much money. I know that if you have 10,000 layers or 10,000 broilers, you have 10,000 sheep, 10,000 goats, that is, the return is high because it's a game of numbers. I know. But the first thing I ask my clients are, number one, what is your capacity? Not minding what other people are doing. Look inward. How much do I have? How much can I risk? I did a short video when I said, do not start a business whose risk you can live with. So ask yourself, can I take this risk? Can I live with this loss? Because it is 50-50. You are not certain. You do your best, but you're not certain. So I always ask, what is your capacity? What can you afford to lose? Now, with that answer, I can say, okay, let us start at this level. You're looking at starting at this level, but let us start at this level. Then we grow from there. So there's nothing wrong with copying, but when you copy, bring it down to yourself and look inward and look at your capacity and know if you can go with that pace or you can reduce your pace a little and grow with time. I believe and I hope you got value watching this video. If you did, make sure you like this video, give us a thumbs up, share this video, subscribe so that other people can also watch this video and learn from it. Until then, see you guys in our next video. Bye for now.